Hello, hello, hello. I'm sure there was somebody else that was in the waiting room and I can't find them. I'm sure it'll pop back on. Cool. Cool. Hello, hello. Oh my gosh. There we go. There's Dorothy. When I come to week 17, it blows my mind every time that we come to an end of a challenge because how quick does it go? This goes so extremely quickly. I think time is actually just going so quickly this year. It's just crazy as well. But it just for me, it really just makes us think or makes me think that 3 months goes by, another 3 months goes by, 6 months goes by, a year goes by. If we're not taking consistent action towards our health, life goes by, and all of a sudden we look back and we go, where were we? Where were we? What happened in that year? What happened in that 6 months? And this is so important for us to get this wild fit into our lifestyle. Get into a healthy lifestyle. Get into a healthy way of thinking. Get into a healthy way of feeling. Get into a healthy physical body. It's so important because life goes by so quickly, so quickly. And so unless we actually thinking, feeling, and taking action towards our end goal, towards our healthy vision, if we don't do that on a consistent basis, we're going to turn around in a year's time and go, oh, yeah, that thing I did at the beginning of the year. I did WildFit at the beginning of the year. It really shifted and changed me. But then the rest of the year, I went back to all my old ways and I've gone backwards. I don't want that for any of you. I don't want that for any of you. I want you to feel like, oh my gosh, you put so much effort into these last 3 months. You've reaped the rewards. You've got so much out of these 3 months. Now we keep going. Now what you've had an experience, because you've had an experience on these last 3 months. You've experienced what it's like to follow the challenge, to follow the enhancements, to make the shifts and changes. So you've had an experience. Now you've got the experience. You've got tools. The Alka-Jasa is a tool. Spring is a tool. In fact, all the seasons are tools. A fasting is a tool. You've got all these tools. They're in your toolbox. The way you think about yourself, the way you feel about yourself, conscious eating, food timelines, 6 human hungers. These are all tools. They're all tools for you. You've got the tools in this toolbox. You've got the experience of what it feels like. So you've got the information, the knowledge, the experience, the tools. What are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? Are you going to take everything that you've learned and keep implementing and keep moving forward? Or are you just going to go, okay, it was done. The challenge is done. The 90 days is finished. I'm done. I'm done. It's all good. And health doesn't work like that. Health is consistent action being taken on how we feel. And what I have found over the years is that if you're in a community, it helps hugely. If you're in a family with like-minded, healthy values, it helps tremendously. If you've got friends that are like-minded, it helps tremendously. But if you're going back and the friends are all having wine every night after dinner and you go, oh, yeah, I also have wine every night after dinner. Or if you go back and you go, well, in my family environment, my pantry, my fridge is full of chocolates. I'm just going to, I'll just go back and keep the chocolates going on a regular basis. Well, that's not going to help how you feel. And unfortunately, everybody's different. Everybody is different. So one person in the family might have gut issues, whereas the next person won't, and they eat the same stuff. Because it all depended really what happened from a childhood point of view. If you were a child that had antibiotics, your gut lining is going to be affected. If you were a child that had any illnesses or any fevers, your internal pathogens are going to be affected. They're going to be different. They're going to be different to other people in your house. So some people in the household might be able to eat the things that don't cause you pain, but you might just eat them and go, how do you eat that? It's causing me pain. How come it doesn't cause you pain? And it really is because we're all different. Our internal makeup is because of our lifetime of experiences, our lifetime of choices, our lifetime of decisions around what we've eaten. And so it is different. It is different for everybody that could be in the same household. If there's children in the household, I wouldn't think twice about having huge bowls of fruit, a freezer full of frozen fruit, pantry full of dried fruit. It really, for me, it's just like you just fill the cupboards full of the good choices, the real good choices, so that when they open the pantry, there's like, okay, there's dried fruit and nuts there. And they open the freezer, oh my goodness, there's dried fruits and veggies there. There's frozen fruits and veggies there. And they look at the fridge and they look at the fruit bowls, and there's just an abundance of fruits and veggies. When they keep on seeing that over and over and over, they eventually get the message too. Like, that stuff feels good in my system. It feels good in my system. So what are your plans? You've come to the part of this challenge where you take over. Eric is no longer the captain of your ship. You are the captain of your ship. It's time for you to take the reins. It's time for you to step up and go, how do I do this? What's my next step? How do I implement it? Because only you are going to have an impact on your life. Only your choices are going to have an impact on how you feel. So whatever you're choosing to put in is going to have an impact on exactly how you feel. So it's your choices. So what's in your ship moving forward? What have you stocked up with? What are you taking out that that you absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt, I've got this, I know that I can implement this, this is what I'm doing. And what do you still feel a little bit nervous about? Like, oh, I don't think I've got this. I don't know if I can do this moving forward. So I really want to hear from you so that I can just see how I can support you in the next step of your health journey. What have you got? And you're going, right, I've got this. This is on my don't line. This is, I'm not reintroducing again. Or this is absolutely part of my life. This is part of my life. This is exactly what I'm doing. I've made the shifts and changes and I'm carrying forward with this. I'm really carrying forward with this. So what do you feel in your heart like I've really got? And have you really sat down and said, this is my plan moving forward. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to implement. This is my next step in my journey. Like, what is my plan? What's my plan? Because we haven't had to worry for the last 3 months. For the last 3 months, we knew every Friday was enhancement day. Every Monday we implemented. It just became like, okay, this is a rhythm. This is a rhythm. What's your next new rhythm? What's going to be the next rhythm for the next 3 months for you? Cool. So have you got a plan? How are you moving forward? What are you taking? And I want to hear about the wins. I want to hear about the wins. So this is the week where we look at those photographs again. We take the photographs again. We take the measurements again. If weight release was one of yours, if healing was one of yours, what healed? How did your body change? What shifted? So I want to hear the wins and I want to hear if you've got a plan moving forward. Cool. I'm going to start with Angela. Ange, how are you doing this week?
Hey, Kerry. I'm good. All good. It's come to an end again, hasn't it?
So quickly. So quickly.
I know. But no, very exciting. And I think for me, which is very lucky that I've got my sister down the road. So we really, really are going to work hard together, because I think, you know, after my other wild fits, I did feel great, and then I just carried on with my busy life. But I'm feeling so good. I really, really am. I'm feeling, I kind of said to my husband, I feel so fresh and happy. And I just want to keep that going as long as I possibly can. Well, you know, forever, I suppose. But I think for me, I suppose my biggest wins now, it's been quite interesting for me this time. I sort of struggled in the middle, because I did want to release weight. So I've focused more on how I've been feeling as opposed to the weight, which has been a different one for me. In the middle, I kind of stopped. I hardly got on the scale. I kept on saying to Ellie, I'm not getting on the scale. And now all of a sudden I am. Literally in the last 2 weeks. I don't know how, I don't know why, because I've just been doing what I've been doing the whole time. So maybe it was time for my body to do that. But so I'm feeling good, and I don't want that feeling to go away. I am very excited to bring my fruit back. So I think for me, I'm going to carry on with my Alka-Geyser and have as much fruit as I can for my mornings, you know, and then go into possible lunch and a healthy dinner with, you know, maybe staying as long as I can in spring with my fruit in the morning, and on the weekends I can enjoy some delicious sweet potatoes and root veggies, and kind of see how long I can push with that. Obviously doing it with Ellie as well, so we can talk and share, and my husband has just been living off of me as well, so he's happy to go with he's been using me, which is good. So no, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling happy, and I think that's kind of my plan. And I don't know, bringing the fruit back, if it's going to change anything that's happening with my body right now, because I would love to shed a little bit more, but I don't want that to become a real total focus, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You know, I get a lot of people after they've been in spring for so long, and they're so scared about the fruit. They really get so scared about the fruit. But you know what? Fruit is super important for us. It's really important for women going through menopause. We need our fruit for our hormones, very much so. It's very, very important for our brain function. We need fruit. We need the natural glucose in order for the brain to actually switch on and function correctly. And if you think about our sweet cravings in our body, because at some time throughout our life, if we never had fruit or root veggies, at some stage, we're going to start craving sugar. And it's not the refined sugar craving, it's the fruit craving. It's the body actually saying, I need the fruit. I need the fruit. And so I find that if we keep fruit out forever or for a really, really long time, we do feel the sugar cravings. But if we have the fruit in on a regular basis, we won't get the sugar cravings, because we've got enough natural sugar going in for the body to function. And this is exactly what happened. Our ancestors years and years ago, they would get that little craving, and they would do whatever they needed to do in order to get the fruit or to get the honey, or to, you know, I mean, for goodness sake, why did we go for honey? Who would go near bees to get stung? Like, who was the first person that said, no, I want some of that? The drive inside them to get that sweet stuff was so, it was like really, really so strong. It was driving them towards, you know, the beehive in order to get the honey. And that's exactly what happens when we don't have fruit for a long time. We get this drive inside us that we need something. And it's really because the brain and our hormones. So it's not a bad thing. And I think if we can just switch the mindset as well and go, well, in all the seasons, in autumn, which was week 5, in spring, in winter, in summer, in all the seasons, you can heal and release weight in all the seasons. The issue comes in when we put foreign stuff into the body, when we put the refined sugars into the body, when we put those processed sugars into the body goes, oh, Like, let me just slow everything down whilst I figure out how to digest this. Or we put grains in the body and the body goes, whoa, this is really tough. Wheat is so tough to break down, and it destroys the lining of our gut. Why do you think so many people are gluten intolerant? It's because the wheat is so processed nowadays, it just destroys the lining of our gut. So the body goes, hang on a minute, what am I doing here? I'll just slow everything down. So, and dairy, we know, is very acidic for the body, and it obviously is mucus causing. It causes a lot of allergies. So if we put in the stuff that is going to slow the digestion down, then our body doesn't heal as much as what it normally does, because all the stem cells are focusing on the digestion. So we need to keep in our mind, we've got to keep speeding up that digestion to keep the healing going. Fruit, veggies, and good proteins do that. Everything that slows it down is the bread, the dairy, the refined sugars, the grains, all of that. So we want to keep speeding up the digestion so that we can keep the healing going. And so don't be afraid of fruit. Don't be afraid of fruit. It's really, really important to know that we can heal in all seasons and we can release weight in all seasons.
Okay, good.
Cool.
That's good, because I love fruit very much.
Yeah.
Definitely my sweet craving.
Yeah, and I'm exactly the same. I love my
Yeah.
fruit. I absolutely love my fruit.
And my honey.
Yes.
Yes.
So I do, personally, I live with a lot of fruit, and it's just because my body feels good with that. My body absolutely feels good. So where does your body feel good? And if I've had enough fruit, I don't get the sugar cravings. I don't need the sugar cravings, So feel into your body what's going to work for you. But yeah, sounds awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. Well done. Well done. Cool. Deborah, how are you doing? And how are you feeling, and what's your plan moving forward?
Good. I'm a bit like Ange. I think I'll be introducing fruit. I think it's just something else to have in the morning, because I don't really eat until I drop all the kids off, and then it's like 10 o'clock. So I think if I have a bit of fruit first thing, I think that'll be good to get your metabolism going and all of that, and then have your big meal more in the middle of the day. And yeah, so I'm just coming off a fast. I'm going to do Sunday night to Tuesday morning, 36.
Nice.
So that just seems quite easy for me to do, and possibly will help me recover from any little things that happen in the weekend. So yeah, Chris and I have definitely been trying out a few different things in the weekend. We got our hot cross buns out of the freezer that had been in there since Easter. But it actually, both of us, I think, have realized how terrible we feel on that, which has been quite interesting. There were definitely some things that we were like saving until this week, and we haven't been that impressed with how we feel, so that's been really good. But yeah, just mainly just keeping going like Ange's, I think, and yeah, a fast after Sunday night is my plan.
Awesome. So that moving forward, you're going to do 36 hours every week.
Yeah, that's okay, isn't it, to do that? And then probably the 72 with you guys. So I'm doing that 4 week starting in May.
Yes.
And then I'll hop back on the next 90 days, whenever that is, July or I think I'll just keep cycling through the 90 days.
Yeah, brilliant. Who here has done the 28-day deep cleanse? Yeah, Dibs, Gail. Yeah. Dibs, do you want to share, how did you feel on that 28-day deep cleanse?
Kerry, going into it, I had no idea what it was about. It was a little bit like Wild Fit in the first time, where you get introduced and you're like, what? But I will tell you, I absolutely loved it. I don't want to give a lot away to Deborah, but there is a lot of fruit. And there's a lot of combinations that I never ever dreamt of. I never dreamt of. If I just take a simple thing, just like, you know, a few salad ingredients, slice your banana into it, and I'm like, banana in a salad, you know, and it was delicious. It was really good. So the combinations are really, really good. I will tell you, in all honesty, of the 28 days, I made it to 21, and I had one relapse. I was like, I just have to. And I think it was just, you know, had to have I think it was potatoes or something that I had. And then I went back on and I finished. So like maybe like a one slip in 28 days, but it felt awesome. Awesome. Really, really good, Kerry.
Awesome. Brilliant. Did you feel a difference in your body? That's like,
I felt a difference in the body. I saw a difference in the body, but I also felt the education. It was like, I would never put that with that. Don't be what, you know, my mother put, you know, it's lettuce, cucumber, and tomato. That's what you have in a salad. That's how we grew up. And there were so many recipes and stuff that was awesome. But I did feel health-wise, but I could see a difference in my body.
nice. Awesome. Brilliant. And
Yeah.
Gail, how did you find on the 28-day deep cleanse? How did you feel?
It's been a while since I
Yeah.
did it, but no, I mean, every little program that we've done is fantastic. I mean, and yes, educational and and having foods and doing foods that I've always kept away from because I didn't like them in the past and things. But there's way I've found with the things that it's using them in a different way. You know, I didn't get the burping, or I didn't get the reflux type thing that I'd had previously. So because obviously the combinations and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it felt really good afterwards. It's always nice, and you know, quite excited to keep. You know, it's nice to stop, but it's nice to keep the things that you did like in there, and you know, and just have more tools. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Brilliant. Cool. So let's go to Ellie. Ellie, how are you feeling this week, and what's your wins and what's your plan moving forward?
I'm feeling really good, really good. I think, as Ange said, you know, we have spoken quite a lot about how we're going to go forward, and I've learned such different things on this one than the previous one. I think the previous one was all about, it was like I probably went into it thinking it was like a diet, you know, whereas this one, I knew that my intention for doing it again was 100% health. And I haven't been weighing myself that much, but I've actually lost about 14 kilograms without even realizing. Well, obviously I realized because my clothes are getting loose, but you know, it was just a real bonus, because by far the biggest win for me has been my health. So since before my cancer diagnosis, I haven't had one clear test on various things, and I had the first test, as I said to you last time, that it was normal results, no need to contact surgery. so that was really good. So I'm nervous, if anything, to stop doing what I'm doing, because I don't want to ever go back to the way I was feeling. And I truly feel better than I feel as good as I did before I had all the dramas. So, which I haven't now for 3 years. So it's amazing. I'm quite interested to find out about the 28-day program, but I can take that offline. We can maybe have an email about that. So in terms of going forward, I'm definitely going to do a bit of fruit. I've also realized that I don't need to eat 3 times a day, that a lot of my hunger is nutritional, and I'm loving the 2 Alka-Gizers. So if I do some fruit in the morning, Alka-Gizer, like a late breakfast, because I quite enjoy some scrambled egg, or you know, something like that, and some like mushrooms and asparagus, and then an Alka-Seltzer in the afternoon or a few almonds and then dinner. So that seems to be working really well for me. But I've got energy. I'm trying to walk over 10,000 steps a day, which I'm managed, just things like that I haven't done for a very long time. So I'm very, very grateful that my
Awesome.
body still works.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what I find is just so incredible is that when we treat our body well, our body responds. It
Yeah.
responds. And it actually responds quicker than what we think it does. It really, really responds quicker. I mean,
Well, because I'm on this medication, the tamoxifen for cancer, so I have to take that. But I was on really hectic iron medication for over a year, and I'm not taking them anymore.
wow.
Yeah, because they just weren't working. Every test they just nothing improved. So I 100%, I think it was there were two stages. The first was cleaning all the sugars and the crap out. And then the next one was upping my Alka-Seltzers. So I really believe that that's what did it for me.
Yeah, fantastic. Yay.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yay, I know.
So
It's such a
exciting.
relief, honestly.
Exactly. So now it's really about, okay, every test I do moving forward is going to be clear. You know, so the mind is switched over as well as the body. Go, right, my body is working,
Yeah.
it's all clear. Moving forward, it's all going to be clear. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So maybe a bit of deep cell healing would be fun. We'll see. I'll email you afterwards, Carrie.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
So Dibs, how are you doing? What were your wins this time round? And what is your plan moving forward?
Hello, everybody. Hi, Kerry. So I've been making a couple of notes. I'm going to take my 3 minutes. The reason why I stay with the Living Wild Fit, tomorrow's calls, even though it's quite difficult for a South African because it's 9 o'clock at night, you've had your whole evening, and I'm like in bed at 9 o'clock. So you have to push yourself to keep going on to the calls because you keep talking about different things and bringing different things in that we didn't know or we don't know for that person. For the first time in 2.5 years, you just said being a sick child with all the antibiotics changed your gut. So I've had as an adult IBS, and for the first time you said that, and I was like, I was such a sick child. I was such a sick child. I was on antibiotics all the time. Literally in those days, they just moved you from one to another and one to another. And I had epileptic fits and that type of thing. And I was just on antibiotics. And now I'm thinking, there's a connection there. That's the first time I've ever heard that. So I'm thinking, okay, so maybe, we'll have a chat and see what else we can do to clear what's 50 years old. But I was like, I had boils all the time. I had epileptic fits. I had tonsillitis all the time. I was just, I was a sick child. So that's the first time I've heard that. And one of the reasons for some of the others that, I just think it's so important to go onto the Living Wild Fit because we all keep talking and there are different things that come on and we share some of the other things. At this weekend, I went home, and by the way, 2 weeks and I'm home permanently. I'm out of here. And we had probably our best friends, it's Nicole's godparents, come over for dinner, and they were like, "You're so skinny," which is not a word I would actually, describe myself as, because, the legs get thinner, but the stomach sort of stays. And they were like, "What are you doing now?" And I said, "I'm not doing anything different." They said, "No, 2 years ago you did that thing." I said, "It's called Wild Fit." And they said, "What are you doing now?" Like, I'm on to my next diet. And I said, I haven't done anything else. I'm living Wild Fit. And they were like, and I was talking about they started calling me during the evening. They called me Miss Celery Juice, just it was like being mocked, I know, but I'm okay with that. celery juice makes me feel amazing and makes everything work for me every morning of my life. So that's fine. You can laugh at me, but my celery juice is good. One of the things that works for me, Kerry, is fasting. When I panic, or when I'm like, this is not going well, or or I've had something, but like Deborah, in the weekend I'm like had a tweak or two, and I'm like, just fast. Sunday night, just go fasting. Monday until you reach the stage where you can. So fasting for me really works. The full moon fasting really works. I know I very seldom get to the 72, but I go somewhere between the 45 and 52. I'm so happy with that. I'm so happy with that. So that's a big thing for me. Other wins is 2.5 years of Wild Fit, not one fizzy drink,
Yeah.
not one energy drink, no caffeine, not once, ever.
Awesome.
So yogurt, not ever. Oh, sorry, Siri wants to say something. What I did do a couple of weeks ago, because I'm living by myself here, I decided to go and get some easy meals. And I did have a couple of bites of something that had a cheese sauce in it. And my vision actually, or I don't know, I looked at it and my body rejected it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was hungry and I looked at it and I was like, I actually can't do it anymore. And I did the same thing with the cottage pie. So if I make a cottage pie, which I believe, the medical medium, that potatoes are good for you, it's what we do to potatoes that is not good for us. It's, the butter and whatever we put in it. So if I make it, I know it's going to be good. But my 2 nights in a row, my body just said, I'm not doing that. So yeah, so that's where I am. And I'm determined I'm going to do Wild Fit with the girls, but in the back, so I can have them for dinner, but I know what week they're on, so I can cook for them. So I'm going to do winter, spring, summer, autumn.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's my plan. That's my plan.
Excellent.
And I
that's
just
within
want
a week. You're doing that within a week.
within a week.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to start with a 24-hour fast, maybe 36, and then do spring, just come out gently. And then definitely I do crave my fruit. Fruit, do summer for 3 days, and then Saturday, Sunday do autumn.
Yes.
Maybe have a sweet potato, something like that. But I was going to say to Ellie tomorrow, don't miss Marlene's webinar. I
Cool.
don't know.
Thanks.
Ellie's nodding, so she
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm quite excited about that webinar and what we're going to be sharing. So it's very cool.
No, very cool, Kerry. And I'm just going to say quickly, but when I was investigating WildFit, somebody told me about WildFit, a friend, and so on. And so I was like, I'm not putting another cent into another person's pocket that's going to, diets and pills, and I'm not doing it ever again. And she did a testimonial, and I just was like, she's South African, so I felt a little bit like connection. And I was just like, and I joined WildFit. So yeah, I'm supporting Marlene. Everybody be on her webinar tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you, Devs. Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry.
Pleasure.
Thank you for everything you do.
Cool. Awesome. Gail, let's hear from you. What were your wins this time around, and what's your plan moving forward?
Oh, I plan on continuing. It's no doubt about that. Yeah, I just this time I got more of a handle on my naughty things. so about just being a little bit stronger with it. I know my body's, what should I say, so clean in some respects that as soon as I've had a bit of chocolate or something like that, the aches and pains and the mucus comes back and things. So the body responds quite quickly to those things. It's a case of just getting the head right about. I've been so programmed in the past that when something upsets me emotionally, or something pisses me off, for want of a better word, I go straight to the chocolate. It's my thing, and I have it, a bit or a lot. And then, the old body responds and says, that's silly, that's slowing you down, it's making you feel awful, let's not do that. And I can go without for quite some time. So it's just for me, it's not, I know what foods and things are good for me. It's just learning how to handle my emotions and things better, to not go that path, and I'm getting there. So and just having the community as such really helps to keep on track and be inspired and do that. And because I mean, things have changed, like it's not hard for me to get up and wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and things like that. Sometimes I roll out of bed and sometimes I don't, but I wake up quite early, and I still go to bed about 9 o'clock some days, and if I need to go to bed at 8 o'clock, I do. So listening to the body and doing the things as I can, and just for me at the moment, handling the stress of another person in the house, which is not really a lot of stress, but it has its moments and can be tiring at times. But we're just adjusting to life and definitely keeping the wild fit in my life. It's been 5 years now since I started, so that's great.
Yeah, awesome, Gail. Awesome. Yeah, brilliant. And it's amazing that when we are with like-minded people, it does become more of the norm. It does become more of like, okay, I can do this because everybody else is doing it. But when we're all alone, it's really hard sometimes. So when you're with others, it's like, no, I've got this, because everybody will be with me, supporting me on these decisions. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Gail. Chris, let's hear from you. What were your wins and what is your plan moving forward?
I think the biggest win for me was being able to do it. I remember when Deborah did her first Wild Fit and I heard about all the stuff you had to cut out. I just thought I couldn't do that. I can't get rid of coffee. I can't get rid of dairy. I can't get rid of anything really. And I know a lot of people struggle doing this. I shouldn't say this on this call. I might get sort of hunted with pitchforks, but I actually found this relatively easy to cut things out. And I think doing it with Deborah was good because, we were kind of geeing each other along and supporting each other with the cooking and the stuff. And these calls have been really good as well. And the chat, the WhatsApp groups have been awesome. So moving forward, I spent the weekend eating just about everything I hadn't been eating for 3 months. And the win for me also was most of it was pretty bad, pretty horrible. It was the nostalgia of what it used to do to me. It didn't come back at all. And in fact, I felt like, why am I doing this? I had a lot of cheese, I had a lot of bread, I had McDonald's on Sunday night. I was pretty bad, to be honest with you. And none of it was what I remembered it being good. It was actually really, really quite bad, quite nasty. So I think that in itself has given me the tool to carry on doing Wild Fit. I'll probably stay pretty much in spring, maybe with a bit of fruit. I've mentioned lots of times that I don't really do fruit. What I am looking forward to, though, is if we do go out for dinner with friends, I can have a meal and know that it's not the end of the world and it's not going to be a cascade for me, and then I can just go back to being good. So we're going into the city for the weekend with the kids for the school holidays, and we're probably going to go out for a nice meal on Saturday night. And it's good to be able to enjoy that every now and then, but not make it the way that I eat. I think that's going to be my approach. I'll probably bring a fast in a 36-hour fast with Deborah. We'll probably do it over the Sunday night, as she suggested, just to kickstart the week. But then I'm going to try and be as good as I can when I can control completely what I eat. I'm going to try and be really good, staying in spring with the odd little thing here and there. I might have gone back to having a cup of coffee in the morning just to kick something over. Just one. I just have one black coffee first thing, and then the rest of the day I try and drink pretty well. So that's my plan. It'll be harder not on a program. I think it'll be harder doing it on my own, but I'm going to give it my best shot because I feel amazing. I feel I've lost weight So the numbers are great, but just feeling generally my resting heart rate on my watch is lower. I'm sleeping much deeper. Just everything has just really clicked for me. Probably in the last month, it's really, the switch has really flipped. So it's been really, really, really good, really life-changing, to be honest. So it's been good.
Awesome. Brilliant, Chris. Absolutely brilliant. And this is a huge thing. What you just said there is that, you know, initially you thought there's no ways you could do that. And this is what a lot of people that see how we live, they go, how can you take out all these things and not eat them? But because it's done with such, I think, gradual, step by step, week by week, it's so manageable. It's so doable. Now you've come to a place where the body is so clean that the communication is really, really clear. So whatever you're putting in, the communication is going to be there. It's going to be spot on. And if you just put more of the good stuff in, the body will be good. The body will be good. And that's one of the Wild Fit principles, is about putting more of the good stuff in. So we know we live in a world that is always going to have influences and distractions and everything else, but it's us about choosing what we put in. We have the choice. We have that food freedom as far as we can actually choose what we put in. And then our body responds, and then we respond to that. So if the body responds and going, hey, that McDonald's burger is like really dead food, like seriously dead food, and you're putting it in and it's hard work to digest and it feels so awful, then we choose whether we do that again or not. So, you know, we become absolutely the masters of our own health. And I think that's really important. Yeah. Awesome, Chris. Well done. Well done. It was lovely having you here, and with you and Deborah together. I think that's so awesome. You support each other through your future. You know, your future is now probably set so differently because of this and because you've done it together. So yeah, awesome. Well done. Debs, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And what did you feel this challenge brought to you? And what is your plan moving forward?
Good, thanks, Clary. I think this challenge, I have felt, obviously I've got no more pain. I'm feeling really good, my body, but more so, I'm really happy with my mental health. I feel really stable all the time. I don't have any ups and downs like I was having, which is great. My plan is a very simple one. I'm going to see how it goes. This is what I'm going to try to do. I don't know if it's going to go. I don't want to be obsessed with what I'm eating, what I'm not eating, whatever. So my plan is just to eat whole, healthy foods. Get rid of the processed, get rid of the refined sugar, have the water, and just try and keep it, the root vegetables, just try and keep it simple. And I'm going to see what my body does with that. If I'm not feeling so good, I'll go into spring for a week or two, have a fast. But for generally, I just want to go with just eating the whole foods, basically.
Debs, I think that is very doable. I think it's really, really doable. And it's like you've got to the stage where you actually just want to keep the pain away. You don't need to release anything more. And so you're at a stage where it's actually, okay, I'm just putting good food in. I'm putting good living food in. And that's how I'm living. And it's very, very doable, because that's exactly how I live. It's exactly how I just like there's
keeping it simple. And I think my main gauge is going to be the pain, but it's also going to be the stability of how I'm feeling. That just wake up every morning and I'm stable. You know, I go to bed at night, I'm feeling good, just feeling good all the time, it's a lovely feeling.
Yeah, it is an awesome feeling. It is a really awesome feeling. Yeah. And when something big happens, it's like you're still stable. You're still stable, you know, and that's really good. We should never be collapsing into our emotions or on such, you know, this huge high that it brings us so low. That is not how us human beings should be. You know, this food stability is really, really, I'm so pleased you brought it up, because it's real. It's very real, and we should be very stable in our moods in order to have a really good life, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Thank
Brilliant.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Julie, how are you doing and how are you feeling after this challenge and what's your plan moving forward?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm totally off the pain medication that I was taking daily before. So,
That's
yeah,
amazing. That's amazing.
yeah. So I'm very, very happy about that. And I unfortunately I didn't lose it very much, maybe a pound or two. But it's just because of the stress, I'm sure. And so,
Yeah, I think this is the toughest time of the year for you stress-wise. And so, but I'm so pleased you decided to do it because, you know, obviously it's about handling all of that stress within the body as well. And so, you know, the body wouldn't be able to cope with it unless it was in a good space. So, yeah, I'm very pleased. And this is exactly it. When we have these stressful situations, that's exactly what happens to our body. Our body goes so tight. It goes so tight. Well, there's no ways we can release anything because we're holding on to everything so tightly. So, so Julie, hopefully the next couple of months, you know, you can take some deep breaths, relax, and really just keep going.
yeah. And for the plan, I copied what Deborah had said about the fasting starting Sunday. So I started last night because I just listened to last week's call this weekend, and I said, yeah, I'll do that. So tomorrow I'll probably go into spring for a couple days, and then I'm gonna do summer and fall like towards the weekend. But and this is one of the few Aprils that I haven't gained 20 pounds, so that's a win too. So
yeah, that's
yeah.
huge, Julie. That's huge. And like you see, that's your cycle of your stress with your work, and what it normally does. So just the fact that you haven't gained that, that's huge.
Yeah. So I'm kind of on an even keel weight wise, but I am feeling better in my body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant.
And I did have one question on the 28-day challenge.
Yeah.
I know I did another detox over a long weekend, and that one was pretty brutal on me. Is this one a little bit gentler, or is it pretty?
No, this one is it is gentler. It definitely is gentler, and it's very, very powerful. It really is powerful. But what I love about this 28-day deep cleanse is it teaches you different things to completely different to WildFit, and allows your body still to heal at a very, very deep cellular level. So it really is yeah, like you could get a little bit not confused, but it's just like it's something totally different to WildFit. It's not like WildFit at all. The meal plans are all there, so you get meal plans in advance, you get recipes in advance. So everything is like, if you just follow those recipes and follow those meal plans, there's huge shifts that happens internally at deep, deep, deep cellular level. If there is stuff that needs to be, you know, come out, if there's toxins that really are stuck at a very deep level, this is phenomenal. Yeah.
And weight loss, maybe some, or not necessarily.
The weight release.
Yeah, what there is, or yeah.
Yeah, most people release quite a substantial amount of weight. Yeah. Yeah. I had a woman last year, she didn't do WildFit with me because she said, I can't get my head around 3 months. It's just too long, but I need to do something. So she went from a really busy, she's an entrepreneur, really busy business, really busy lifestyle, you know, drinking wine on weekends with friends, doing all of that. And she did the 28-day deep cleanse. She released 10 kilograms in 28 days. And when I saw her a year later, she came for check-in, the weight was still off. I said to her, that's actually really incredible after 28 days. She says, well, everything shifted and changed within me. And my coaching videos are a lot of information as well. So I actually share a lot of information on the videos. every week as well. So it's a whole different way of looking at your health. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll consider that. Thank you.
Cool. Pleasure, Julie. Dorothy, are you there? Are you able to do a check-in, Dorothy? Just let us know if you can do a check-in. Okay, cool. I can't see Dorothy unmuting or putting the video on, so she might just be listening. But what I want to say to all of you is, congratulations! Yay! Yay! Because you know what? Sticking with something is one thing. Showing up here right to the very end is a whole nother thing. So you guys have done that. You've done that, and you've implemented things along the way to make a shift and a change. It's huge. It is huge. Do you know that majority of people that sign up for things never complete them? They don't complete them. You know, so every time you do this, every time there's so many of you that have done this before and you've completed another one. We should actually have like medals or, you know, certificates, or like, I've done one more and I've done one more and I've got to keep going. I know I did the park run over the weekend with a friend of mine, and they you know, every time you do 5Ks, they like, you know, they keep you going on an app, and they keep you going. Which, by the way, is one thing that I will hint at with the call tomorrow. The program that we're going to be doing, that we're going to be announcing after the Thrive with Vitality call with Marlene, is all about having an app that you can have a community with, and that you can touch in with, and it's actually super exciting. Like, yeah, it's so exciting, Dibs. It's like, yay, we'll have this app that will actually keep us going. And yeah, there's lots of exciting things that are coming. So I want to
Terry,
yes.
Terry,
Oh, Dorothy, you there?
can you hear me now?
Yes.
I had
Yes.
trouble figuring out how to get unmuted. It's the first time I've done this way, so it works out. I just want to tell everybody it's been wonderful being with you, and I'm so glad I was able to at least check in a little bit here on my way. I want you to know that the tools that I have garnered from WildFit and from your help, Carrie, have been wonderful. This wedding, it was amazing. First of all, there were people who've not seen me in many months, and all of them thought they wanted to know what was going on. They wanted to hear about WildFit, so I gave that name out for a while. They might be checking in. Some of the people that I haven't seen in a while, whatever I have released, they have found. So there was some that were quite large. I was like, oh my goodness, this family has, yes, anyway. So the meal came. It was just a luncheon meal, and it was very simple. They had skewers of fruit, which I had fruit in the morning, so I could eat some of the fruit. And then they had some skewers of some vegetables with olives and all that. So that's what I ate a little of. And when they passed the little beautiful cakes that everyone said were so good, there was just like no attraction whatsoever. They just kept running and going past me. And to have the tools to be able to do that. When the toast came, I had like, okay, put like a tablespoon in there so that I can toast the couples. So it was delightful having that freedom. Over these last 8 months have been just wonderful, the things that I've learned. And I look forward to continuing that way. So now I've got a handle on how I'm eating and whatever my body says. And I'm not listening to those people that say, you need to quit eating like that. You're losing too much weight, which I'm not. I'm staying relatively the same. The body is just reforming itself. So it was marvelous, perfectly marvelous. So thank you so much. And thank all of you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Dorothy, for sharing that. Thank you. And it's so exciting when you've got an event to go to and how cool you look. It's like, yay, it's so exciting. I love it. Dorothy, you reminded me, I went to my niece's wedding in South Africa in beginning of October last year. And same thing. It was like the people my age were like almost twice the size. It was like, Oh my gosh, like you don't have to, guys, you don't have to put on weight just because you age. It's like you really don't have to. You know, I was up there on the dance floor, I never stopped dancing the whole time. And I could see they were sitting down and then they'd come dance and then they'd have to sit down. It's like, no, you can have fun, you can enjoy it. Yeah. So Dorothy, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased for you. Really, really awesome.
Me too.
Well done. Awesome. Cool, cool. Well done, everybody. Well done. Congratulations. Keep in tune with each other. Keep supporting each other. Keep moving forward. And I'm quite sure I'm going to see all of you around. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. And yeah, this is it. This is our final core of this challenge. So just stay in touch, everyone. Lots of love.
Thank you, Kerry.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Kerry. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Join
you.
Living
Thanks
Wild
so much,
Fit and we can
everyone.
see each other again.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.